There's a parasite that can only reproduce inside one specific animal, a cat. The problem is, cats don't hunt other cats. So this parasite does something almost impossible to believe. It infects a completely different animal first, rewires part of how that animal senses danger, and waits for a cat to do the rest. And here's the part that should concern you a little more than it probably does. Scientists estimate this same parasite may already be living inside roughly a third of the human population on Earth, including, possibly, you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how it pulls this off, and why some researchers think it might be quietly influencing human behavior too. How do you survive as a parasite that can only complete its life cycle inside one animal, when that animal will never willingly cross paths with the creature carrying you? Meet Toxoplasma gondii. This parasite can only sexually reproduce inside the gut of a cat. Not a dog, not a human, specifically a cat. But cats don't hunt other cats. So if this parasite only infected cats directly, it would have no reliable way to spread from one cat to another. Evolution solved this problem in one of the strangest ways found anywhere in biology. The parasite doesn't wait for a cat, it builds a trap for one. The parasite's solution is to infect an intermediate host first, usually a rat or a mouse. Once inside a rodent, Toxoplasma travels to the brain and settles there, forming tiny cysts within brain tissue. Researchers have discovered something remarkable. Infected rodents show a measurably reduced fear response to the scent of cat urine, a smell that terrifies uninfected rodents almost instantly. In some studies, infected rats didn't just lose their fear, they showed something closer to mild attraction to the very scent that should have sent them running. Think about what that actually means. This parasite doesn't simply suppress behavior. It appears to target the exact fear response standing between itself and its only path to reproduction. A rat with dulled instincts around cats is a rat far more likely to be eaten. And once that happens, the parasite finally reaches the one place it has been trying to get all along, the cat's gut. There it completes its life cycle before being shed into the environment through the cat's feces, ready to infect the next unsuspecting host. It isn't brute force, it's precision. Here's where this stops being a story about rodents. Rats and mice aren't the only animals that can become intermediate hosts. Humans can too. Contact with contaminated soil, cat litter, or undercooked meat can allow Toxoplasma to enter the human body. For most healthy adults, the infection causes no obvious symptoms. The immune system usually keeps it under control, but cysts can remain in tissues, including the brain, where the parasite may persist for life. Current estimates suggest that roughly a third of the world's population may be infected. Most people will never know. Now here's where the science becomes genuinely debated. A number of researchers have investigated whether infection is associated with subtle behavioral differences in humans, including increased risk-taking, slower reaction times, and certain personality traits. But it's important to be clear about what the evidence actually shows. These studies identify correlations, not proof of direct causation. The research remains actively debated, some findings have failed to replicate consistently, and many alternative explanations are still being investigated. Even so, the fact that scientists are seriously asking this question is remarkable. A parasite that evolved to manipulate fear in rodents might have measurable effects, however small, in a completely different species it never evolved to infect. That possibility alone makes this parasite worth paying attention to.